Greetings, travelers! Once again, Happy New Year, everybody! Thank you for taking the time to click on this video. As always, my name is Mike. Welcome to another video from us here on Earthshine Education. If you're new to the channel, be sure to click the subscribe button, ring that little notification bell, and you won't miss out on any of our live streams or future videos that we'll be putting up. Today we're going to be talking about a beautiful conjunction that will be happening very soon, actually. It'll be in the evening sky on the 9th, 10th, and 11th primarily of January. And so, yeah, in this video we're going to discuss what a conjunction is. We talked about one last month, but we'll reiterate what a conjunction is. We're also going to talk about which celestial objects will be in this particular conjunction, and where to look in the sky on those particular evenings to see it. With all that said, let's get to it. In astronomy, a conjunction occurs when two or more astronomical objects or spacecraft, anything celestial, anything in the sky, when they're observed to have the same ecliptic longitude or the same right ascension. It's said to be that they're in conjunction. In a less technical description, these objects are in conjunction when they are observed close together in the sky, even though in reality they're separated by vast distances, and we saw a good example of that at the end of 2020. In December we had the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, even though they were thousands and thousands of kilometers, millions of kilometers apart. They looked like one little point in the sky. The two planets appeared as one object in the sky because they were so close. They were in conjunction. So let's talk a little bit about this conjunction. While this is not the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, it's actually going to be a pretty great one to observe as well. There's actually going to be three planets in conjunction. They are the planets Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn. Now, Mercury is going to be making its first appearance in the evening sky for the year 2021. It's really elusive due to, well, it's a lot closer, due to the fact it's a lot closer to the Sun than we are. Its orbit is very, very close to the Sun. As such, it moves very, very fast, hence why it's named after the messenger of the Roman gods, Mercury. Very fast-moving deity, a fast-moving planet, indeed. It's usually only visible for a few minutes right before the Sun rises up in the early mornings, or in this case, it'll be just after sunset. You'll see it in the sky for a few minutes, and then it will disappear from view. Jupiter and Saturn, of course, have been trekking across the nighttime sky for the last few months, if you've been watching our videos or just watching the sky, obviously culminating in the Great Conjunction in December. And they too are going to be disappearing from the sky very, very soon. So far we've talked about what a conjunction is and which objects, in this case the three planets we've already talked about, Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn. We've talked about them, but we haven't talked about where to look, so we should probably take care of that. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Alright, here we are in our planetarium. We are, of course, using Stellarium, which is open source planetarium software, stellarium.org. I'm not associated with them, just love using their software. I appreciate the fact that it is, of course, open source and free, so anybody can learn about the sky by using it. We are looking south-southwest, allowing the sun to set along the south-southwest horizon here. And we're going to go ahead and pause it right here. So this is just around sunset. We're now zooming in. It's around 5:30 on our planetarium. Now, of course, this all depends on your location, so you will want to check with your local almanacs to see when the sun will set for you. But here we are on the evening of the 8th. And you're starting to already notice that this conjunction is very apparent. Again, we are looking south-southwest, and you see immediately, right as the sun is set, you see three objects in a very obvious shape. This is a triangle. Now, the lowest of these objects on the 8th is Mercury. Above that you will see Saturn, and above that you will see Jupiter. Now, Jupiter will be the brightest of these three objects. It is, of course, the king of the gods, the king of the planets. It's the biggest one. It does reflect back a huge amount of light, and the only planet that's actually brighter than Venus... the only planet that's brighter than Jupiter is the planet Venus, but that's in the early morning sky. Now, as we bring up our date and time here, let's actually watch as Mercury will quickly rise up and become parallel with Saturn, and then parallel with Jupiter, and then surpass both of them in altitude from the horizon. So this is on the 8th. We're going to go ahead and move to the 9th, and you'll see this is when the quote-unquote conjunction begins, although I would argue the 8th actually works as well. Here we see Mercury and Saturn are now parallel to each other, with Jupiter hanging out above the both of them. Again, they are going to make a triangle, and you will see this triangle will change shape slightly as we go along. This is on the 9th. Moving up to the 10th, you'll see the triangle is very, very obvious now, with Jupiter again at the top of this triangle. Moving to the 11th, you'll see Mercury is now parallel to Jupiter instead of Saturn. Saturn may not be visible, again, depending on where you happen to live and how your horizon looks. But again, this is what we're saying between the 9th, the 10th, and the 11th. This conjunction is happening, so you got a couple of evenings to make this observation. Obviously, you can start on the 8th if you'd like. This conjunction does actually kind of break apart a little bit. They're still fairly close together, but they're not technically in conjunction, I guess, if you want to go by that. On the 12th and 13th, you'll notice that they have actually separated and make a nice line, but on the 13th, I think this is going to be kind of fun. They'll be joined by the very, very, what we call a young moon, or a early crescent. This is a waxing crescent. The bright side on the right side, you'll notice the moon right above the horizon. Right again at sunset, you'll see a line going from the horizon upwards. You'll see Saturn, Jupiter, and then Mercury in a line, all of them joined by the moon, making this much larger triangle. Very, very cool to see. So hopefully you will have clear skies to be able to see this. And of course, if you don't, you can always simulate it in your virtual planetarium on your computer. Now, if we keep moving this, you're going to notice that Saturn and Jupiter, of course, are going to be getting lower and lower towards the horizon. And by the time we get to February, Mercury will just turn around and go back down below the horizon. So as we speed up, you'll see Mercury will continue to get rise higher and higher in the sky. This is on the 21st, and as you see, it's going to make a loop back around, and by the time we get to February, well, it's actually going to be too bright daytime still to see this, so yeah. Alright, and there we have it, folks. We went ahead and discussed what a conjunction is, what objects, in this case 3 planets, will be in conjunction for the next few evenings in the month of January, mid-January 2021. Again, you got a couple of evenings to be able to see this. You'll get to see this triangle of planets for a few evenings in a row, and then that triangle becomes basically the line, and they'll get joined by the moon. So you have a couple of evenings to go out there and try to see this. Hopefully you have clear skies to do this. Now, again, if you are new to the channel, please click the like and subscribe button. We actually upgraded this year. We'll be able to do multi-streaming. So when we do live streams, we do live planetarium shows, and other science discussions, we'll be streaming to YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. All of the links for those social media and streaming sites will be in the description box down below. Our planetarium shows are, of course, Monday and Wednesday. Science discussions and weekly news, I guess you could call it, are usually on Fridays, assuming there are no interruptions. Again, please click like, subscribe, click the notification bell so you make sure you don't miss any videos we put up. We do thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end, and if you haven't seen any of our other videos, please click around. You'll see as we've been hopefully improving our quality of our shows. Please share this video, this channel, and your love of astronomy with others. And if there's anybody out there that has any suggestions of videos you'd love to see me make, feel free to post them in the comment boxes down below. I will, of course, look at them and do my best to make videos, content that you want to see. Please take care of yourselves and each other. We will see you in the next video. May you have love and clear skies. Take care.
Earthshine, earthshineeducation.